Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the story of a power that was so useless, it was basically a running joke, right up until it became the most broken cheat code in the entire world. Let's get right into it. All right, just picture this for a second. You wake up in a world full of hunters and dangerous dungeons, and you get a special, unique ability. Awesome, right? But yours is a total dud. Everyone mocks you for it, your guild thinks you're just dead weight, and you're so weak you can barely even level up. But what if every single one of them was wrong? What if that one lame, seemingly worthless skill you have actually held the key to not just becoming the strongest person alive, but to literally breaking the rules of reality itself? So here's the power we're talking about. Our main guy, Haruto, he gets copy/paste. He can duplicate a healing potion, a sword, you name it. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The second a copied item leaves his inventory, poof! It vanishes. So to everyone else, he's basically just a walking vending machine for cheap potions that you have to use on the spot. Pretty useless, right?
Well, after getting the boot from his guild and being left for dead, Haruto tries to go it alone. And things go wrong, like really, really wrong, almost immediately.
Yeah, things go south fast. Haruto and his party accidentally stumble right into the dungeon's final boss, the level 80 Spider Queen. They are just completely out of their league. In the total chaos that follows, his team gets wiped out and he gets trapped and left for dead in the boss room. And this is where he figures out the first real hack for his ability. See, right before he went into the boss room, he left a copy of himself at the dungeon entrance. So now, when he dies, his consciousness just zaps right back to the backup. He's basically created his own personal respawn point. For 3 straight days, he just dies over and over and over again. Each life, he manages to get in one tiny hit before getting totally annihilated, slowly chipping away at the boss's massive health bar. After 3 days of what I can only imagine was pure, relentless agony, he finally takes down the Spider Queen. And the reward for his absolutely insane strategy, it's huge. He skyrockets from a hard-stuck level 29 all the way up to level 76 in one fight. Yeah, he's not a 0 anymore.
So, fresh off this incredible victory, Haruto walks straight out of the dungeon and right into the middle of a citywide catastrophe. And at the heart of it all is an item with some serious, game-breaking power.
Okay, so check this out. It's a perfect storm of chaos. A dungeon suddenly erupts under Tokyo's Rainbow Bridge, and monsters start pouring into the city. At that exact same moment, a convoy is transporting a legendary sword that instantly grants its wielder 200 levels. And just to make things worse, a massive level 400 dragon shows up, the bridge collapses, and it turns into an all-out war between guilds, monsters, and thieves, all trying to snatch that sword. So is Haruto there to save the day, to be a hero? Nope, not even close. He's thinking like a true gamer. All he needs to do is get his hands on that sword for a single second, hit Ctrl+C, and bam! He'll have his very own copy with a permanent 200 level buff tucked away safely in his inventory forever. And he almost pulls it off. He fights through all the madness, even gets stabbed, uses his respawn trick to come back, and finally gets the sword in his hands. He tries to copy it and nothing. User level too low to copy this item. It looks like it was all for nothing, a total failure. But then, a different notification pops up. He couldn't copy the sword itself, but he did manage to copy its skills. All of a sudden, he has that temporary 200 level boost, and since he's critically injured, the sword's secret Berserker mode kicks in, doubling his stats. In one absolutely unbelievable moment, he leaps into the air and slices that level 400 dragon clean in half. So now, he's a hero, a legend in the making. But it turns out, he's not the only one out there with a power that feels more like a cheat code than a real skill. The world, as he's about to find out, is way more complicated than he ever thought. And this is how we meet a new key player, Arita. She's working with the guy who organized that whole bridge attack, Kurosaki. And guess what? She also has one of these cursed skills that just doesn't play by the normal rules. Hers is undo. Or, Ctrl+Z. She can restore any person or object to a previous state. So of course their paths are going to cross, and it happens in the super dangerous Snow Mountain dungeon. Turns out, Haruto's party and Kurosaki's team are both after the same incredible prize, the Golem's Heart, a legendary item that's rumored to be a source of infinite mana.
Haruto's team manages to take down the dungeon's mini-boss, but, surprise, it was all a trap. Kurosaki's team ambushes them right after, but the real shocker is what happens next. To make sure her team gets away clean, Arita unleashes her ultimate move. She doesn't just rewind an item, she hits Ctrl+Z on the entire dungeon, and the side effect of that is catastrophic, because it resets Haruto too.
And just like that, it is all gone. Every bit of progress, all his levels, every skill he copied, wiped clean. He's sent all the way back to the very beginning, a completely powerless level 1, totally at his rival's mercy.
This really should be the end of the story. Game over. But Haruto, well, he's about to use the twisted logic of his own power to pull off the most incredible comeback you can possibly imagine.
As Kurosaki is standing over him, about to land the final blow, Haruto has this one desperate moment of clarity. Arita's reset reverted his current self back to level 1. But what about the self that existed just a few moments before she used that power?
And there it is, the ultimate checkmate. Remember his respawn trick? He always keeps a backup copy of himself. The one he had saved was of his level 276 self, made just moments before Arita hit the reset button. And that copy? It was completely, totally unaffected by her undo.
So he does the only thing he can do. He lets his level 1 body get killed. The instant he dies, his consciousness transfers to that pristine level 276 backup. He reappears at full power, forcibly copies his rival's teleportation skill right off him, shatters the golem's heart, and absorbs the infinite mana source directly into his own body. He doesn't just win, he takes everything. Which, of course, leaves us with one last lingering question. After starting out as a total nobody with a useless skill, Haruto now has infinite mana and the power to copy any ability he ever comes across. He's become a being of almost unimaginable strength. So, is he still the underdog hero of this story, or has he just become its new final boss?